in the past 4 years of high school. I go into depth with. For my project, I have chosen to represent my answer using a form of art. Although I wouldn't consider myself an artist, I use coloring and drawing as an escape from reality. Often when I find myself stressed or anxious, I turn to coloring to express myself in a healthy way. The way drawing calms me and helps me balance my emotions ties into my answer to the question, what does it mean to be human? After pondering this question throughout this year, I came back to find myself focusing on one main concept: emotions. How is one able to fully be human and enjoy life when constantly having multiple emotions and thoughts racing through our minds? The pressure of society pushes us into the depths of stress and can cause us humans to fall into a negative coping pattern. Now, my answer to the question can't solely be the word emotions, so I found myself thinking about my personal life experiences and the things I was truly able to feel.
Pause.
No,
listen, slow down. That's all I'm saying is slow down.
I wasn't a slow down. I'm just reading
so that
it right
people
now.
can.
I'm not. No, I'm just
I'm
reading
not
it
trying to
you.
critique you. I'm just saying slow down.
Oh my god. I'm not even halfway through it yet. I will slow down. Jesus Christ. Personal life experiences and the times I was truly able to feel free. The memories I kept finding myself falling back to were the ones involving nature. For example, I had the privilege to visit many of the U.S. national parks with my father. My father is truly my inspiration for my answer, as he has always raised me in a way where I was able to fully appreciate the beauty of nature. He has taken me to the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons, or as many would know them, the Yee Mountains, Yosemite, and the Zion Canyons. Although at the time of planning these vacations, I only thought little of them because I would rather be on a beach in warm weather, I look back now and realize I have never felt more at peace than when I was able to hike to the peak of a mountain or canyon and be able to view all the natural beauty that surrounds us. These massive landforms make anyone feel tiny. The true realization strikes that nothing truly matters in the true scheme of life, as there is so much constantly going on around us. It is a comforting feeling when you realize it, because it slowly starts to dawn on you that society's opinion on you doesn't matter. As humans, we are naturally perfectionists, and anything we know, others will see. For example, if you place last in a race, are you more likely to think about how embarrassing it is for you to be last, or how proud you are of yourself for even being able to finish? My drawing itself is a representation of that. Just because you may be scared of what society will think of you or your work, nothing matters in the grand game of life. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, I'm not what one would call an artist. I simply do it in times of need. I don't complete it to a perfect T, but instead rather create what makes me happy. This is why I've chosen my answer to this question to be that being human is to be grounded and to be able to truly experience all that life has to offer right in front of us, because nothing truly matters in the grand scheme of life. Getting into the picture itself, I chose to place a person in the middle of a nature scene. This is to represent that feeling I explained earlier, that in nature nothing seems to matter much anymore. The person is a representative of all of us. Any of us have the chance to escape to the outdoors. The person is alone as a representation is that if one wants to achieve what it means to be human, they must focus on themselves first. It isn't selfish to let yourself experience life all on your own. It will compel you to find your inner talents and passions. Again, no matter how good or bad society might perceive how you go about your passions, to be human, you must be able to ground yourself and truly understand yourself first. The grounding portion ties into the illusion of the Chevrolet car parked at the human in the drawing. And the things they carried, we are introduced to the main character, Norman Boker, who returns from the Vietnam War and struggles to internalize what he has witnessed and rejoin society. In the novel, his father drives a Chevy. He drives his father's Chevy repeatedly around the lake. He does this because since it is his father's car, it makes him feel safe and takes him back to his childhood with his father. In a time where he is unable to communicate with the world about his friend Koala's death, he finds a comforting outlet to ground himself and take time to truly understand how the war has affected him personally. The lake in my drawing also represents the lakes he drives around. I feel like some bodies of water almost seem as if they never end, which is why I incorporate it to relate to the idea that no matter how ashamed society may make you feel about your journey, life doesn't just end. This is the idea Norman is also trying to swallow in this chapter, because he has lost all feelings of normalcy he was once able to enjoy at home. My next illusion is within the sunset. You may have realized the sun is green and not a bright yellow. This is to allude to the far green flashing light in The Great Gatsby. Gatsby spends his life absorbed in Gatsby spends his time absorbed in his social life and appearance. By chasing the American dream to make himself more appealing to society, he loses the love of his life. Although Gatsby seems to live the dream life, it slowly unravels that he has schemed his way to the top so he wouldn't have to wait for everything to come to him. But never truly understanding himself and his love for Daisy, he gets wrapped up in society's expectations of him instead of his own happiness. The green light is to represent how Gatsby chased the money instead of focusing on the life he always had right in front of him. Gatsby, not focusing on his own life and only the luxuries, also caused him to hit Myrtle with his car. Myrtle, a lower-class woman, and Gatsby, a high-level millionaire, is a purposeful placement because it leads to Gatsby's death by her husband, George Wilson, showing that by not focusing on true happiness in life, he not only never attains happiness, but he also loses his own life. This shows that by not focusing on ourselves, we as humans are never able to truly experience life. The last illusion I have placed within this drawing is a skull hidden on the shoreline. This is to represent the skull seen in the novel Hamlet. When Hamlet holds up the skull of somebody he once knew and loved, Yorick, it causes him to spiral into his thoughts on existentialism and how death is unavoidable no matter how hard one tries to avoid it. By letting his father's ghost manipulate him into seeking revenge, Hamlet loses his own life. By realizing that death is inevitable, one should use it to their advantage to live life to the fullest. It should help us realize that we will all pass away one day, so why not focus on what we truly enjoy instead of letting society dictate our every move? By allowing ourselves to experience life the way we want to live it, we avoid dying without regrets. A question I would like to leave everybody with is, if we can't stop death, why waste our time on this earth doing things that we don't enjoy doing? Take the time to fully enjoy the time we are granted as human beings. Explore all that has been put on the earth for our own individual discoveries and not focus on living others' lives for them. In the game of life, all that truly matters is the vessel you've been given and the ability to use it to the advantage of the ability to use it to adventure the wonders we've been given, as we won't have any other opportunity to do so.